I want to thank, first of all, you for putting this together. I mean, it couldn't exist without you,
Oh, well,
and
thank
you've done great work, as indeed has your partner, Jean Schuster, um, to whom I also wish to thank. And then I want to thank Michael Schmidt, who's been involved in this from a very early days. And I want to thank the staff of Carcanet, um, who have helped so much with the proofreading and everything. Unfortunately, I haven't met them. And then I want to say, before we start anything, how sorry I am that I'm relying on this form of communication, that I'm not present, but I can't walk and I can't hear. And so it's better for me not to try to come to Manchester, although Manchester is a special place for me. And the college, of course, is my old college in a transformed form. Anyway, that's what I have to say in anticipation. From a relatively early age, I come from a musical family, and I wasn't good enough to be a performer. I played various instruments, but not very well. And composition seemed to be the thing that attracted me. And so I decided to do that. Um, not entirely, as readers to the book will find out, with the approval of my parents, particularly. Um, but I don't want this book. When you first proposed to me that we attempt to do this, I was rather against it, and it was really the success of the Skype that somehow led on, in which I explained why I'm not someone who wishes to have any biography, or for that matter, autobiography written about me. I don't want to, I'm sure there's a connection between life and art, but I don't wish to stress it, and I don't know what it is. Not clear to me. And therefore, I wanted, when we set out to do this, I really set out to record my memories of my teachers, um, and that figures in the book. And I also wished um, to include not my teachers but my mentors, which were people of varying types who had a strong influence and who possibly added something or subtracted something
you.
from what I was doing or what I thought. And you'll find those in the book. And I should say one thing, it's necessarily that one's memory, especially if one's over 90, which I regret that I am, that one's memory plays false, and none of this is necessarily true. It's just what I remember of the impression. And these were strong impressions, and they were almost all immediate impressions. I tend to be someone who forms a view of somebody else, or a teacher or a mentor, straight away. Other people surely are different. And those people who I instantly related to or who influenced me remain with me, along with a lot of other people who remain with me, but they're not mentioned. And it was you, really, who decided the form of the book, because originally I was only thinking about the teachers and mentors, but you added a number of, or persuaded me with your very good questions and generally authority over me. You persuaded me to go into the business of models, which is something which is close to my way of thinking. And also various other things. I mean, Schoenberg was neither my teacher nor my mentor, but there is, in fact, a section on Schoenberg because in our family, he was a very strong influence. My father was a pupil of his, and he was always a shadow, although I've gone a long way away from it.
What do you hope our readers will take away from this book?
Heaven knows whether they'll take anything away. I think they should take away that a composer feels, on the one hand, that he or she, have failed, and on the other hand, is trying to make a living, like being a composer
Yeah.
in a sort of public way. And there is a sort of, if you like, a contradiction, and at the same time, a complementary aspect to this. I mean, I feel, especially at my advanced age, I'm aware of the limitations of what I have done. If I was already a fully fledged academic before I remembered that or found out that you had to breathe while composing, and that when one does complicated things like 12-tone Babbitt type things, one doesn't breathe, and you have to breathe in order to create musical phrases, because otherwise it doesn't speak to anybody. And so I should say, although I'm on a Skype, that I have to breathe now in order to communicate something to this, answering your question, to the potential hopeful reader of this compendium which you've put together.